Welcome back to The Next Bloom, the podcast where we explore the psychology of retirement and what it means to live a meaningful life in your next chapter. I'm your host, Delia Farquharson. And before I get started, I just want to say I'm really happy to be back because I've been under the weather for about a week and my voice was affected. So I couldn't record because I sounded really hoarse and I had a lot of congestion. So I'm happy to be back. And today we're talking about something many of us are quietly reconsidering. So, what does success look like after 60? Even more deeply, what does it feel like? This episode is called Reimagining Success After 60, redefining what achievement means beyond the career milestones. So, for most of our lives, I know for me, success has been tied to getting up, getting dressed, running to the office, looking to make sure you get rated on your performance reviews, getting that raise or that promotion. And it's just been one big wheel, right? So that's what success has looked like for most of us. But now, as we approach or we are in retirement, in this season of our life, success is defined differently. It's something quieter. It's something deeper. So, let's start with this truth. Many of us were handed a definition of success that's centered on the career, the income, the public achievements. Most of us grew up with this really linear idea of what success is. We have to work hard, we have to build a career, we have to buy a house, we have to raise a family, we have to retire comfortably. And let's not forget the car, because a lot of us, the car is a status symbol of how well we're doing. And if you followed that script, celebrate it, because that was an achievement. And while those things brought us all kinds of growth, pride, and purpose, they are not the only story. Because as you transition into what I'm calling this new season, it's natural for us to feel a little disoriented, a little confused, a little perplexed as to what comes next. The to-do lists are not as long. The calendar is not as full. The identity you built around your job or family begins to change. And with that change comes the question of, now what? Because success in this new season that we're approaching or that we're in isn't about proving yourself. It's about discovering yourself. So now is the time to let go of the old script. Success is no longer a ladder. It's a garden. Think of success after 60. Not as a ladder to climb, but as a garden to tend. And I love gardening. It's what I'm looking forward to most. There's no more struggling, rushing to get to the top. There's just a space to nurture what matters most. So maybe now your definition of success has shifted, has changed, and it includes other things. It's about prioritizing your health and your well-being. It's about starting a new creative project. It's about mentoring someone younger, maybe spending time with people who nourish your spirit, traveling, learning, giving, saying no without feeling guilty. Try this one. How about waking up without anxiety? Laughing deeply and often, and feeling present in your own skin. And yes, being able to spend time in your garden without having to feel like you have to be elsewhere. Success in this season doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be meaningful to you. So it's about giving time to things that matter and letting go of things that don't. Because you're not behind. You're not behind those who are still struggling. You're not just now blooming in your own time. So I recently saw something that says peace is progress, right? So let's sit with that idea for a moment as to why peace and the measurement of peace becomes the new success. Peace is not the absence of ambition. It's the presence of alignment. At this developmental stage, peace becomes one of the most powerful and essential achievements you can reach. And here's why. Because the body and the spirit craves restoration. After years and decades of just striving and doing and caregiving, your nervous system is like, girl, guy, time to rest. Peace becomes a form of healing. Peace allows space for clarity. If you're peaceful, if your mind is peaceful, then you can think. When you're no longer rushing, you can hear your inner nervous system, your inner voice more clearly. You begin to know what you want, not what others want from you. Peace isn't passive, it's intentional. Choosing peace often means setting boundaries, walking away from stress, and standing firm in your values. That demands strength. Because at this age, whatever age you are, legacy matters more than applause. You begin to think less about climbing and more about how you're living and what you're leaving behind. Peace becomes the soil in which you plant those deeper contributions. So if you are feeling the urge to slow down, it's not in defeat, it's in devotion to yourself. And I say we have to honor that. You've earned your peace. It is not a retreat, it's a return. So let's celebrate that. So let's redefine success in our own words. If you are somewhere quiet, I want you to take a deep breath. Maybe grab a notebook or a bit of paper and just let your thoughts flow. Ask yourself, what does success mean to me today? What do I need less of to feel more peaceful? What does peace feel like in my body, in my home, in my relationship? What activities do I want to pursue that has nothing to do with money, title, or accomplishments? If I didn't have to explain my choices to anyone, what activities would I focus on? And again, for me, it's probably cooking and gardening. But maybe it's a walk for you, a phone call, a nap, a boundary. Write it down, or simply hold it in your heart. Take your time with answering these questions, and you may be surprised by the answers you reveal. So, let's, conclude with the thought that success after 60 isn't about hustle, it's about harmony. It's no longer about chasing a title, but creating a life that reflects your truest values. You get to define what matters. You get to choose peace as your personal victory. You get to bloom again and again and again on your own terms. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me on The Next Bloom. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who's ready to redefine what achievement really means for them. Until next time, I'm Delia Farquharson, reminding you that peace, purpose, and joy are not just possible after 60. They might just be your most important accomplishment to date. I encourage you to bloom again in your own time and in your own way. So, you can find me on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. I'm on all the social media platforms, Delia Farquharson or Delia M. Farquharson. Please share this podcast with others who you think might benefit. Like and follow. Until next time, keep blooming.